What we have here today is a problem with your brake pedal. Although the brakes still work, when you push it down, you can keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and eventually it'll go to the floor. We're going to replace the master cylinder today on the brake and see if that fixes it. Now to replace the master cylinder here, we will take and put a small screwdriver in here, take this little switch off, the weather pack, and then we'll take this off. It is a 22 millimeter. Next, what we'll do is remove these brake lines here. You want to use a line wrench that goes all the way around, otherwise you have a good chance of stripping that fitting. If it's rusted on there, you'll have to apply some heat to it. I have another video on that. Next, we'll take and remove the two bolts that hold the master cylinder to the brake booster, and then when it's off of there, we can get to the bottom of this connector and then take that off. Then we'll stick a small screwdriver underneath here and unlock that. What we have here is a bench bleeding procedure for a master cylinder. First thing you want to do is clamp it in your vise, not on this surface here, but on one of the flanges. Then we'll go ahead and fill it up with some brake fluid and just have these cracked open just a little bit, these plugs that come with the thing. We will take and depress the piston here, not with a screwdriver because it could damage the internals there, but I'll just use this extension here. It's a 1/4 inch extension. Place it in there and then push the piston forward. Now that I filled up the reservoir, I put a little handle on the end here. What we'll do is push the piston forward, and then we will go ahead and snug these up. Let the piston back out. We'll push back in very slowly, and eventually, after several times, it'll be very hard to push forward. That will have most of the air out. You can see a few air bubbles coming out of here yet. Once those are done, then we're ready to go ahead and install it. You can see the travel of the piston is very, very limited here. As soon as that doesn't move any longer, then we'll go ahead and put it on. new master cylinder that I purchased did not come with this pressure reducing valve. I'll go ahead and remove that and install it on the new one. If you get one that's right from Ford, I believe they include a new one on that. On this proportioning valve, there is a small O-ring that's damaged. You need to replace that, otherwise it'll leak here. And now we're all set to install it. So now that the master cylinder is bolted to the brake booster there, I'll go ahead and reconnect our fluid level switch. Go ahead and start these lines in by hand, and then tighten them down to make sure they're not cross-threaded, and put this electrical connection back on. After I had it installed here, I noticed the electrical connection is different. You have to pry this tab out, pull this out. It has a corresponding tab on the other one. You might want to do that before you install it, because then you have to go in there blind, and there's not enough room for a full-size screwdriver, so you need to go underneath there and pull that tab down and slide that out to slide this one in so the connections are the same. Now that I got it back all together here, I will pump the brake a few times to get the pressure up there and check for leaks. And then we will bleed the brakes, starting with the passenger rear, then the driver's side rear, then the passenger side, and then finally the driver's side. We will make sure that we have all the air out of the system. Nice firm brake pedal. The tools you would need for this job are a 7/16 line wrench, 5/8 line wrench, a 9/16 wrench for the taking it off the brake booster, a 7/8 or 22 millimeter socket, ratchet, and a small screwdriver, flat blade.